A standard restaurant kitchen operates as a closed loop with predictable workflows. A modern supermarket operates with an open contamination profile, where high customer traffic and shifting air pressure introduce new environmental variables. This environment functions as an open-loop contamination matrix. Customer movement, changing air pressure from entrance doors, and unpackaged open display merchandising create continuous, unpredictable cross-contamination vectors directly into the food zones. The 2024 NSW Food Authority Scores on Doors data quantifies this specific risk. This chart details the distribution of regulatory penalties, showing that 23% of enforcement actions in Greater Sydney share a common origin point. That 23% traces back specifically to cross-contamination in open display areas. These penalties occur primarily in the customer zone, rather than the back-of-house preparation areas where cleaning efforts are typically concentrated. Alongside airborne contamination, temperature abuse operates as a second systemic variable threatening retail compliance. FSANZ Standard 3.2.2 establishes a strict cold chain limit, mandating that cold-stored food remain at or below 5 degrees Celsius. However, routine field measurements show display fridge surface temperatures often sitting 2 to 4 degrees above that legal threshold. This temperature drift is caused by uncleaned condenser coils. When biofilm and dust accumulate on the coils, thermal transfer is physically blocked, forcing the unit to lose its cooling capacity. Visual end-of-shift tighting cannot stop airborne particulates or clear obstructed condenser coils. Securing the environment requires engineered intra-trade sanitization protocols that address the physical causes of contamination. To build those protocols, we examine the high-risk customer-facing zones, specifically the hot bain-marie and cold self-serve salad bar stations. During active trade, these units experience constant temperature gradients. As hot and cold air meet, condensation pools in the drain trays, creating a site for bacterial growth right beneath the food holding pans. The operational protocol to stop this requires degreasing hot units every 4 hours during service, using a food-safe alkaline detergent heated to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. This diagram compares standard cleaning agents against the precise chemical sanitization required for the next phase. The protocol dictates a quaternary ammonium sanitizer, such as Ecolab Oasis Pro 61D, applied at 200 parts per million. This formulation is FSANZ approved to bond with the surface without requiring a potable water rinse, preventing additional moisture from pooling in the condensation channels. At the deli counter, the compliance burden shifts to the specific legal mandates outlined in FSANZ Division 4. Processing sliced cooked meats and raw cheeses on identical equipment within the same shift creates an immediate cross-contamination risk. Division 4 requires a full clean, sanitize, and rinse cycle on slicing equipment between every single product changeover. To maintain this during peak hours, operators utilize a 12-step rotation checklist to ensure no steps are skipped before touching the next product type. Intra-trade chemical applications and rigid changeover cycles interrupt biological buildup before it spreads, breaking the open-loop cross-contamination chain. Compliance risks extend into the walk-in cool room, an enclosed, artificially cooled space where contamination takes a different form. In these spaces, bacterial biofilm accumulates on evaporator coils, shelf brackets, and rubber door gaskets. Without monitoring, ATP swab ratings from retail coolroom door handles frequently exceed 500 relative light units. This gauge measures surface cleanliness in RLU. 500 RLU indicates a significant biological load, exceeding acceptable hygiene limits. To reach a compliant state, retail food operations must adopt the AS4187 healthcare grade benchmark, keeping surfaces strictly below 100 RLU. Maintaining that threshold requires a 90-day deep clean cycle. The chemical phase involves applying an alkaline foam to all interior surfaces at 50 degrees Celsius to dissolve the entrenched biofilm. During the mechanical phase, evaporator coils are cleared using a specialized fin comb and compressed air, regulated to 40 psi, to remove debris without damaging the fins. Door gaskets are measured for structural integrity. If their durometer readings fall below Shore A40, they cannot maintain the necessary seal and require replacement. In the display fridges, a monthly enzymatic flush of the condensation drain lines is necessary to prevent slime buildup from blocking the drainage. Regular refrigeration cleaning functions as a thermal management strategy that directly maintains the cold chain and prevents inventory spoilage. The layout of a retail store often places ambient dry goods aisles directly adjacent to fresh food departments. This creates ideal harborage conditions for pantry moths and German cockroaches, providing constant access to food sources within a complex shelving structure. Contamination mapping identifies 4 critical harborage hotspots: undershelf voids, refrigeration compressors, ceiling tile cavities above open displays, and cardboard recycling areas. This graph charts bait uptake efficacy against cleaning timelines, showing the impact of scheduling deep cleans 48 hours before a licensed pest treatment. Removing ambient food residue eliminates alternative food sources, which increases bait uptake efficacy by 30 to 40%. Beyond pest activity, inspectors target specific failure points during NSW Food Authority audits. To prevent airborne chemical contamination, strict spatial mandates govern storage. All cleaning chemicals must be stored in locked, ventilated cabinets at least 1.5 meters away from any food storage or preparation zone. Audits also reveal that 18% of premises fail due to blocked or depleted handwash stations. Inspectors verify that handwash water reaches the FSANZ 3666 minimum of 40 degrees Celsius for effective pathogen removal. Synchronizing pest pre-cleaning with spatial chemical compliance proactively addresses these regulatory strike points before an inspection begins. Looking at the entire facility, we can see how these technical protocols form a cohesive management framework. This hygiene architecture functions as a 3-tiered system. The system comprises continuous intra-trade wipe-downs, daily close-of-trade display scrubs, and periodic deep cleans on a 30, 60, and 90-day rotation. This structure also helps teams identify structural failures, such as mistaking a collapsed grease trap for a dirty floor. Implementing these standards consistently relies on staff who are trained to execute the specific chemical dilutions and 12-step equipment rotations required at each tier. The final element for audit survival is digital compliance documentation. Inadequate or missing cleaning records result in immediate $880 on-the-spot fines. This chart tracks the impact of using time-stamped, photo-verified digital checklists to mitigate these audit risks. By utilizing named accountability systems, facilities can reduce missed task rates from 14% to under 3%. Moving from reactive tidying to a data-verified hygiene program secures the cold chain, eliminates inventory spoilage, and protects the operational reputation of